Hey everyone, Hassan here. Welcome to the world of Ha. Today I have another Power Rangers Lightning Collection review for you. This is a really cool item here. So this was, I'm assuming, probably meant for like San Diego Comic-Con this year, but you know, there was a pandemic. Well, there is a pandemic, I should say. And so instead, this ended up releasing as like a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. And so this is the Lord Drakkon EVO 3. Now, of course, we do have a Lord Drakkon figure that already released, and if you've read the Boom Studios comics, which if you haven't, go read them, they're amazing, there's multiple versions of Lord Drakkon, and as the name implies, this is the third evolution of Lord Drakkon. So I kind of hope, you know, after a while we actually get all of the evolutions. I think that would be really cool. But EVO 3 is exciting, and I like what they have done with this set. So let's take a look. So first of all, you got this really cool outer packaging. Now, Lord Drakkon was from the Shattered Grid storyline, of course, and so you have this really cool shattering effect. Just awesome display. Just even this box alone, like I kind of almost want to keep it, especially because you can actually see through the box and see the actual box inside. There's Lord Drakkon right there. And that gives this really cool effect just from this see-through plastic on the outside. From the back as well, you can kind of see a little bit, which looks really cool. From the side again, Lord Drakkon EVO 3. Just really nice style overall. So, well, this is going to be a bit of an unboxing as well. I haven't actually taken this off yet. I kind of want to do this on camera to really see what it looks like. So there's a little tab there, and oh, there's some tape on the sides. So let me pop that part open. Okay, and there we go. All right, so this just pops right open. And inside we have, let's see how well this actually slides out or not. This might be a little bit tricky. I don't know if that's working or not. Hold on, let me fold up my knife because this just fell off the table and that would have been bad. So let me put that away. Oh gosh, how do I even get this thing out of here? I can try and push from the bottom to get a little bit of traction, maybe. Does this work? Or is the tape? You know what? I think this is actually the bottom of the box, and this is taped. That's why. I thought this was the bottom of this outer plastic, but it's not. This is actually the box itself. So you do actually have to cut the tape at the bottom. FYI. Okay. Now, actually, this should just slide. Oh, that's actually very easy. I didn't even have to open it from the top. This just slides right open. So this is kind of the outer, you know, shell right there. And now you have, oh, look at that. That's pretty cool. Look at that nice open display right here. So Lord Drakkon EVO 3, you can see him right there with some cool effects pieces. There are these little like shattered helmets, which I'm very excited about as well. That just looks really cool overall. And there's the part of Lord Drakkon that we saw on the sides, as I mentioned. Gosh, like this is such a great display item too. I almost don't want to, you know, open it, but I'm gonna open it because I don't have space for the large boxes. And then you actually have this piece included as well. So let's actually kind of cut the tape on the sides here and see what we have. So here's the back of the box showing you what's included, which looks amazing. Lord Drakkon EVO 3, really cool head sculpt, really cool effects pieces, and he's got all these sort of shattered helmets. And it says, the evil Lord Drakkon keeps the helmets of defeated Power Rangers as his trophies, displaying them by his throne to strike fear into the hearts of those who would oppose him. So that is really neat. And then let's actually just open this piece up here. This is actually a display piece. It's not actually a comic like you might think, but this is a... was this actually one of the comic covers or a variant? It might have been. I can't remember. Or, you know, they may have designed it just for this to look like a comic. But this is kind of a cool thing that you can sort of display alongside it if you want as well. So it's just this little piece of cardboard. So that's pretty neat. We'll keep that there. Yeah, that's really cool. So you know what? Let's just get this guy open and take a look. Alright, here is Lord Drakkon EVO 3 out of the packaging. It looks pretty cool. I'm going to move this little bit of cardboard out of the way just so we can focus on this whole figure and display and everything as well. So, there's a lot to go through here. Let's start with sort of the overall components. So we have the Drakkon figure, we have a Saba weapon, we have this little stand here that also houses 4 helmets, 4 shattered Mighty Morphin helmets, and then 2 different effects pieces to go with it. We of course have the actual Lord Drakkon Ranger helmet, and then 2 alternate hands as well. So he has 2 grippy hands, and then 2 sort of more open style hands right here, all black just to match the suit. So first thing is there's some really cool poses that you can do with this whole set, right? And part of it is these effects pieces really kind of play a role in that. So I want to sort of take these out and just kind of show you the effects pieces first and foremost. What's the best way to get this off of this? I guess I can slide it over and around. There we go. So there's 2 different effects pieces. There's this one. And again, there's no instructions for this necessarily, so you can decide how best you want to do it. But the back of the box basically shows this part kind of sticking up behind him. So in some way, you can have him standing on this or around it, wrap it around, however you want to do it. But you have this sort of long effects piece right here. Then you have this bigger one here. That is a bit more chaotic, and it's, you know, it's translucent green here. Some thicker little pieces down at the bottom as well. So there's a lot going on with this bigger piece. And the way that I've noticed is, so we have this stand, right? And so, you know, flat, nice and easy to stand on there. And we'll take a look at the Ranger helmets and all that. But there's a few items here. There's this giant peg right in the middle. And so this actually has a peg right there. So this can really sit in right there and go across all the helmets or however you want to do it, which is kind of cool looking. You know, you can figure out the best way you want to display it. The one thing I will say is it looks like there are these 2 smaller little pegs here. I cannot figure out what those are for, to be completely honest. I don't know what those are for. So if anyone in the comments can let me know, you know, what these ones are meant for. I looked through all the pictures online as well. I couldn't figure out exactly what those pegs are for. I mean, like, there's Saba, and maybe this blade allows Saba to kind of rest there like that, sort of, because there's kind of an indentation, but there's nothing to, like, hook him in there, so I don't, you know, like, I don't really know exactly. I mean, I guess it kind of maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's for Saba. Sort of. You know, he doesn't super fit in well here because it's a bigger one, but maybe, you know, off to the sides you can sort of do that. Maybe. So that's possible. That could be what it is. So I'm just going to roll with that. But you let me know in the comment section if you know of any other use for that part of it. So I did want to mention that. So while we're talking about accessories, we'll get to the figure in a second, but since we're talking about accessories, you have this cool little stand. You can have him, like, you know, put a foot on here and step on here, make it all menacing, but this has 4 different Ranger helmets, and all of them can easily pop right off, and they have pegs here, so you can put any 4 Ranger helmets you want on here. Whatever you want in Drakkon's collection, you can attach onto here. But the cool thing about these helmets is, you know, I'll bring in the regular one on the left from the actual figure. It's the same exact helmet. You know, there's no actual cracks or removals on it, but they've painted it to look like it's all cracked and scratched up. So, you know, as you can see, there's these black marks all over the top. The visor has kind of these, like, silver marks as if it was, like, cracked. And it looks really cool. I certainly do appreciate that. So that's really, really neat. You know, we have I'll just show it to you up close from here. We have the Green Ranger, which I only have the Fighting Spirit one. The regular green is coming in the next wave, which I don't currently have as of the recording of this video. But lots of, you know, paint marks and stuff there. You have MMPR Pink, which is right here. So from this side, it actually looks the same, but from the top and the right, you can see kind of the cracks a little bit there. And then MMPR yellow, you know, pretty good amount of scrapes and paint and stuff down the side as well. Pretty cool. You know, it would have been nice, I think, to have a couple of other, like a couple of riding helmets rather than all Mighty Morphin, because that was the whole thing with Shattered Grid, is he's getting different Ranger powers and all that. So maybe some of the 4 main ones from, you know, that he had gotten from the comics, or a certain 4, but honestly, it's fine. Just the fact that we have these sort of shattered helmets like this, I think is really, really cool, and I certainly appreciate that. That was not something that they had to do. They could have just released the figure as is, but to have something like this is actually really, really neat. So I enjoy that. I think that's a lot of fun. That's cool. So then we also have, let's just jump to Saba right here. And, you know, as you can see, you know, pretty good paint and detail on Saba. And if I compare with the version that was released with the, you know, the regular White Ranger, I don't know if Drakkon came with one also, but I know the White Ranger did. And so you can see some slight differences, like this one has a couple of these gold dots right there. And the face is actually more accurately painted. So on the one that came with the White Ranger, the silver extended all the way to the face. But that's not actually how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to have the white face, the red eyes, and the silver is just the top part. So they've actually, you know, improved the paint. And here's the best part. Okay, spoilers for Shattered Grid, but look, it's been out for a while. You should have read it already. Guess what you can do with Saba? Look, the head comes off. Yeah, that's right. If you didn't know from the comics, he beheads Saba. And so you can actually use it like this. You have the little tiny Saba head. That is amazing. You could not do that with the other Saba. So the fact that they added that here is super, super nice. So there you go. It's the little things, right? So now we take a look at Lord Drakkon EVO 3. This is obviously the main item here, the actual figure itself, and it looks pretty nice. I will point out one thing that I am frustrated about, and that is when you flip it over, you notice anything? I sure hope so, because you can't not notice it. Hasbro, what's that? Why is there a giant paint splotch on my figure? Like this, I tried to wash it off. This doesn't wash off. This is paint. This is not just some dirt or something. This is a giant paint blob on my Drakkon cape, and that is frustrating, especially for an exclusive figure like this with limited quantities. That is very frustrating. Yeah, so that sucks because I can't display him like this. I mean, if I display from the front, you're not going to notice it, but if you look from the side there, that is very noticeable. Look, that's the thing. You buy your figure, it's probably totally fine. Any Lightning Collection figure is a free-for-all in terms of quality control on these things. I've seen terrible things like this, and I've seen stuff that's been perfectly fine. It completely varies. That is the one thing about this Lightning Collection line that Hasbro really needs to fix. The quality control. It's just bad, because you really don't know what you're going to get. Sometimes you might get terrible stuff like this. So I may contact Hasbro and see, who knows if they have any replacements at this point. But I also didn't open this right away. I've had this for a while, so it might be too late at this point. So, you know, that's my fault, I guess, for not having time to film my reviews. And unfortunately, I'm screwed with this. So that is a big, big bummer. But let's just focus on the figure itself, because, you know, that's really what you, if you buy it, may get, if you can still find it. I don't know. Really cool, you know, face sculpt as well, because you have the little like veins kind of extending there. Like, it looks really cool, just the gray hair in there. You know, the closest we have to compare is the Zeo Red Tommy in terms of that sort of hairstyle, but like you can really see how he looks much older and evil and menacing. Like, it looks like, you know, current JDF and in the full Drakkon style that we've seen from that little short film thing they did. So I think they did a great job with the face sculpt. That looks really, really nice. And the overall design of this Ranger is pretty cool. You know, much of it darker colors, the red right there, really menacing. So, you know, that looks pretty interesting, as you can see. Really, really cool to have these comic characters translated into action figure form. So, yeah, that's Lord Drakkon. The cape is, I believe, attached to the shield. Like, you might be able to pop it off, but I don't, like, you can see it there. It's got a little peg under the shield there. So it's on pretty tightly, which is nice. Because the one thing about capes is sometimes if they fall off really easily, it just gets frustrating. So there's that. And I mentioned the alternate hands, of course, you know, as I said. And, of course, you do have the actual Drakkon helmet. So let's pop that on, and then we'll take a look at the articulation here. But this is the actual Lord Drakkon EVO 3 helmet. There you go. Looks pretty interesting. Definitely an interesting design for the helmet. Yeah. I think he looks pretty cool. You know, of course, you can decide which version of Drakkon you like better. I personally think the original one looks a little bit better, but I certainly do appreciate what they're going for here as well. And I have the two to compare. You can really see, like, the design similarities and differences, right? And so, like, I mean, you can already see the head sculpt. They actually probably almost use the same head. This piece here has like has an extra little spike sticking out there on the side. The mouthpiece is a little bit extended at the bottom there. But overall, like, the design is very similar, just, you know, different paint job. The shield as well looks to be very similar, except for the middle chest piece is different. Actually, no, there's, you know, 2 ridges there. There's 3 ridges in the shield there. So it's very much, you know, similar in the design, but just an extension of it as well. And so, you know, again, if you haven't read the comics, like, you're missing out. These are pretty cool designs, which I appreciate. So, and again, you can also slide in Saba right there and have him headless, or however you want to do it. All right. So, with that being said, then let's talk articulation, right? So, the head rotates a bit. The shield kind of gets in the way, but it rotates a bit. The arms do have a swivel. They do rotate around. This is a little bendy, so you can kind of adjust there. Full arm rotation, double joint at the elbow, the hand rotates. The upper chest piece all rotates around. Abdomen crunch, leg movement, rotation, double joint at the knee. The entire boot rotates, foot swivel, and up and down movement as well. So pretty much all the same Lightning Collection articulation you would expect, except the head movement's just a little bit limited because of the shield. So overall, looks pretty cool. Oh, what you could also do, I guess I should just show this just for fun, is this Drakkon head on this body. Because again, you can mix and match these Lightning Collection heads and everything, so that's pretty cool. Oh, that's actually really nice. Yeah, this is really cool. Because I like this design even more, and I love what they did with the face sculpt there. That's really cool. And then combine this with the throne from the Legacy version at Power Morphicon. If you bought the throne, like, that's a cool display. And then add the little stepping stone with the helmet. Like, you can really get something pretty cool out of that. So, yeah. In fact, I might actually do that. So, before I do that, I'll just say, you know, like that, I mean, that pretty much wraps up the general thoughts here. I think this is a really cool figure. I certainly do recommend it. It's great to have this comic character come to life, this new form. I love the extra little details they added, the head that comes off Saba, the shattered helmets and the stand, some effects pieces that you can go wild with. There's a lot of really cool things here. So definitely pretty sweet. So let's have some fun with this then, and bring in that throne from the Legacy version with Power Morphicon, that exclusive, and see how it looks with everything. Check that out right there. I kind of took the original Drakkon with the new helmet and then the throne that I had from before. He's kind of put his foot on the little step there with all the helmets. That's pretty sweet, I must say. Definitely. Now let's try and swap this out. Let's have some fun with this and bring in the new Drakkon, of course, right? So let's pop this off, put this helmet back on. I really do like the civilian head that they used here for it, so I'm just going to stick with that instead of leaving the helmet on. I think he looks so much more menacing if you can just kind of see that glaring face, you know? Oh, actually, I just realized that it's not going to work because the cape. That's right. So, can't do that with the throne, but you can use the original Drakkon and mix and match stuff too, so that's certainly a possibility. But anyways, there is that. So, let me know in the comment section below if you picked up this figure or not and what your thoughts are as well. Stay tuned for more videos coming from me in the future. Make sure you're subscribed. I got a baby on the way very soon, inshallah, and so there might be a bit of a break in Lightning Collection videos, or well, just videos in general on the channel. But yes, I have Wave 7 pre-ordered. I have the monster packs pre-ordered, the 2 packs with the SPD, and then, you know, Andros and Astronema. I have all that stuff pre-ordered, and I plan to continue collecting Lightning Collection figures. There just might be a bit of a delay in uploading some of that as I focus on the baby and everything. But make sure you're subscribed so that when I do come back with those videos, you'll be the first to know. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, take care, and I will see you later.